Hey everyone, this is episode 71 of Noodle Time. Welcome back. Here with me is the biggest Steve Clark fan out there, OSG, a certified hater last week, but now is the biggest fan. How's it going, sir?
What's going on, bro? What's going on? Yeah, dude. What a game. What a freaking game. What a freaking game. Woo. Just exciting, bro. Like the emotions. That freaking game go up and then go down and then go back up and then go back down and then up and down, up and down, up and down for the penalty kicks. Like Jesus Christ. And it was also a different moment for me because so yesterday I did field photography. So unfortunately, I wasn't in the stands with the surge and the supporters. I was doing my job and working my butt off, taking over 500 pictures for the game, and had fun with that too. So I got some good pictures, and it was interesting going, getting some recording of the players after the game in the locker room and the press conference with Ben. So it was fun, but yeah, I miss being in the stands at the same time. And so we'll see what we got to do about that for the next game, the semifinals coming up. But yeah, bro, it was one of those. I think after the game, like I drove home back to Austin after the game. I was tired. And I kind of felt like Ben, because Ben, like, he answered so many questions during the press conference. He's like, "Okay, last one. I'm tired." And I'm like, it had to be the emotions, bro. It had to be the emotions, just the up and down roller coaster, just high, low, high, low, high, low, and then super high at the end. Because at the end, Ben also ran around the entire field congratulating everybody and giving H's to the fans and stuff like that. Like I know he was tired. I was tired because, man, I was yawning about halfway point. I started yawning pretty hard going home. Like, golly, let's. But hey, what can you say, bro? Down a dub, down a dub. Uh, Watching Man City versus Chelsea right now as we record. It's 2-2, almost at halftime. So I'm on another friggin' roller coaster right now, man. But what's going on with you, bro? What's up? How's your weekend?
Pretty good. It's definitely the least I can say because yesterday, obviously Dynamo won, Real Madrid won, and the vibes have been immaculate this weekend. And I don't know, yeah, just going back to the game, like I can definitely agree with the fact that it was definitely stressful, 100% stressful, and that piled up with the fact that it was a best of three series. We're coming back from Sandy, Utah, in a must-win game. The team had a lot of weight on their shoulders, and thankfully, they were able to. They didn't give up. That's pretty much where it came down to because RSL, they have been doing the same thing for like the past 4 or 5 matchups this year, and it worked for them. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be the case, but it worked for them, and they did it again, and they almost pulled it off. They wanted to take the game to penalty kicks. To an extent, they got what they wanted, but they just lost when it mattered the most, and Houston are through to the Western Conference Semifinals. Like I still can't believe it. Last week I told you it's pretty much like everything happening in Ben Olsen's first year, and the first year of transition to a new head coach. The plan from Ashley Malduson and Pat Onstad, like still that they're still building
Trust
up
the
this team
process.
and
Trust
trusting
the
the
process.
process.
Yeah.
Despite the slow start to the season and where we're at right now, Open Cup, I'm gonna bring it up again because it's incredible, and I still can't believe it. Honestly, I cannot.
Well, since you brought that up, Ben Olsen just had his year anniversary with the Dynamo, and Dynamo Fan TV actually asked that question to open the press conference. It's been a year. Uh, did you expect to be here? Things on track, and Ben goes, it feels like it's been more than a year. Like he's been working his
Yeah,
butt off, and it's been forever already. But Ben also said that we're ahead of schedule. We're ahead of schedule to where we expect it to be. He expected to be in the playoffs. The 4 seed. making it to the conference semifinals is a bit ahead, and now it's going to be on him and the team, and to keep it rolling and see if they can manufacture this from year to year from here on out, and keep it rolling, because it's been such a great change, and that has a lot to do with, like you said, Pat and Asher and the players that they brought in, and trust the process, and you bring in the winners in. It's just incredible, incredible to see. So good job for Ben in his first year. There might still be one guy that hates Ben, but whatever. That dude's a fool. Yeah, all I can say right now is just leave Ben Olsen alone. I mean, we all loved Nagamura the first 5 games when he was 4-0-1 to start the season. So at some point, you got to jump on board, right?
Yeah.
so, so, but hey, man, but to start the game, there was one question we were worried about with starting lineups, and like, how did Escobar hold up during the week? And did come to find out he was practicing during the week, and he did get the start. He looked like he was just fine, so his ankle wasn't bothering him. He got the start, and Ben's best 11 was the typical 11 that you see every week, and they came home. And then, like you said, there's the weight on their shoulders, but there's the benefit to being at home, and that lightens that weight a little bit. And obviously, it was lightened last night, but there's a struggle. There's a struggle when the referee is aggressively making calls that you probably wouldn't agree with sitting from in the stands, which I can guarantee you, sitting on the field and not having all the supporter music in my ear, you could hear. I mean, you could hear it from the supporters anyways, but all the booing and just the ref complaints, and that's Chris Penzo. What are we expecting? So that's why you got to teach players and teach teams, like, you can't let the referee affect the game. He's going to make the calls he's going to make, and you just got to keep playing soccer, and just work your way around it. Don't let it bother you. Corey Baird getting his yellow, that was stupid of Chris Penzo to give him a yellow. He just kind of, and that's all he did. And Chris Penzo got mad real quick. So, like, bro, you got a short temper. I don't know if that's, maybe you married the right person. Nah, shot at Chris, but that was a stupid yellow for him to give 20 minutes in. It was dissent, but that was like minimal. That was nothing. But yeah, as far as the game goes, bro, like, it was kind of what we expected, I guess, playing RSL, we always play tough, always have hard times trying to find a winner, always drawing these frigging guys. Start off on a high note. I wouldn't say too high of a note, but where we were looking like the better team. Scored a goal, going to halftime 1-0. What a pretty goal we can come back to. Then scoring, and then we taking back notice of the game, and then kind of RSL pushing back again, and then the game friggin' ends, and we have to go to penalty kicks, and then the up and down just roller coaster continues, bro. But I don't know, what were your thoughts going into the start of the game there?
No, honestly, you just want to start with the fact that, I mean, I think you said it best when it comes to the lineup. Like, this is a team full of winners, and my biggest concern heading into this game was like, okay, how's Coco going to do? Because, like, his season has been incredible. Like, obviously, CONCACAF Gold Cup MVP this year, and his season has been like short of insane. Like, and like, just the past 2 games against RSL, it hasn't been. It didn't feel really like a player we've seen him this season, and especially in game 2, that's when he messed up pretty bad, and a lot he just turned over the ball a lot and gave that opportunity for RSL to equalize, to get into the penalty shootout. And thankfully, this game was different. Like, he was able to contribute in his own way. Like, granted, he wasn't the best player on the field, but he was substantially way better than the last 2 games against RSL. And just this lineup, really, like, Ache still contributing in his own way, team MVP, no question about it.
Add
Like,
another assist.
another assist, like, and I just want to go back to that specific goal, because when you mentioned that this team is just full of winners, everyone contributes in their own way, and like even if if the game is not going as planned, they can still contribute like here and there, and particularly like Nelson Quinones is a good example because like even though he like later on in the game he would miss a penalty kick, and the second half he had like a good couple runs to get back to double the score or put two more goals in. Like the first goal, it was pretty much him because he was the one to send it across to Ache Ache like from way far outside the box, and Ache Ache just like squares the ball up for Corey Bird to finish it, and this is what this team is all about, and not just offense, like defensively, like you every single game you see Eric Svitchenko just like whenever he has the ball and the field is like open for him to like go forward, he goes forward, and he can become a fullback. Like if he switches with Dorsey or Escobar or whatever the rotation is at that time, and it's just insane. Like the experience definitely is a factor, like to know where you're standing and where to be at the right time. And the game three against RSL, it was their moment to show up because it was a must win. It was win or win, especially at home. And I was happy with the performance last night. Like even though I felt like there had to be more goals and avoid penalty kicks for sure.
Absolutely, bro. And to go back to second to your comment on Coco, like he didn't stand out, like he wouldn't, but he also wasn't. He didn't have a bad game either. He was just kind of right in the middle average. And it's kind of funny when you mention Coco, is like because at the beginning of the game, uh, I sat on the north end where they were attacking the goal in the first half, and I ended up staying on that end to take photos the entire game. But I was kind of watching Coco more than I would be watching others whenever he was on the ball to see what he was going to do because of how bad he played the last game and the mistakes he was having. And he did pretty well. He was getting it off his feet. I think there was one time he did lose the ball, but RSL made a pass right back to us. So like it just kind of win-win situation. So Coco had an average game. He did have a couple of good opportunities on goal with some good crosses. He did take an ugly left-footed shot that he kicked into the stands, but he shot the ball, so we can't complain about him shooting. Uh, and then Escobar, bro, he's getting brave pushing up. I mean, he was pushing up so far at one point that I saw him holding hands with Quinones, not literally, but holding hands with Quinones. And Quinones, you know how he likes to hang out on that edge line. Well, he couldn't do it no more. He had to push in towards the middle some and allow Escobar to be that winger up there on that side. So it's we're getting braver at home, which opens to the counterattack, which we got lucky. RSL didn't take advantage of the counterattack last night and didn't kick our butts on that counter. So had a couple opportunities, but Mikel was able to put an end to that, or it went too far, and Steve was able to stop it. So uh, it's crazy what this lineup could do, man. It's crazy what this 11 could do. Just crazy. It's fun. It's fun though.
No, yeah, and just going into RSL's goal, it's pretty much what they've been doing this whole series, and like I said earlier, like it worked for them. They're gonna do it again, and this time around, like Luna was just wide open, like in the middle of the push forward, and he was able to he was wide open enough to like just head the ball in to put it past Steve Clark, and I would say like it was a defensive mistake for sure. I don't think like in that specific play the players were aware of who's marking who, and that's pretty much what happened. And it's just those types of mistakes that the Dynamo have to figure out right away because it's we're ahead now, granted, but we're gonna be facing some tougher opponents down the road.
That's for sure. SKC ain't no joke. But dude, yeah, how do you let a 4'11" Oompa Loompa with no shin guards on get free in the box for a header like that? Like I'm not kidding. Like bro, it's like this friggin' tall, and I swear to God, I even took a couple pictures of it. He's not wearing shin guards, and his socks are so low. Like if there's a shin guard in there, it's paper, not even cardboard. It's paper. Like how did Chris miss this? He may not have missed it. He may have checked and be like, but like he's not covering his friggin' shins. Like this dude is ridiculous. But yeah, how do you let that little bitty Oompa Loompa friggin' free in the box like that for a header, and then he gets enough power on the head because he headed it down to the ground to where it just bounced and goes into the corner, and Steve couldn't get over there quick enough. So whatever, good goal by him. You always give credit to goal scorers when they score actual good goals, but let's go back to our goal since we scored first, man. And it was one of those worked our way up to the wing. Quinones puts a ball across the box, and it ended up being kind of short, but RSL, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what that defender was doing because he didn't head it back out. He tried to hit it out behind the goal, and Achi was cheating over there on that back post, and it went straight to Achi heads it back into the middle of play, and then there's friggin' Berdino to finish the friggin' goal right where you're supposed to be, right when you need to be, and beautiful run of play, and like we said, another friggin' assist by Ache. And even Tom Bogert took notice last night and posted like 3 tweets about him. Like, it's so fun to watch this guy, and how he was just not paying attention last year, and now he's just all over the place, and it's so fun to watch Ache, and the Dynamo, and we're enjoying it. We're friggin' enjoying it, bro. In comfortable weather last night too, bro. So that goal, that build up, that play up, bro. I know it got you excited when it happened. I know it took some time for us to get to that goal, but
No, yeah, I'm still, I'm pretty much happy with the goal because it's pretty much what we've been saying all year long. Like, either the Dynamo in a pretty good position and they keep pushing and they get their goal, or they have like a weird start to the game, but they just squeak a ball in to change the game, and I'm happy about that. And what I was a little bit salty about yesterday was particularly the second half, not only because of the goal we conceded, but just the fact that we had all these opportunities to get ahead in the scoreboard, and we were creating like those chances. Just that, like, we were just sending it straight to the keeper, or we were just putting it away, or you're just wide, and it was miserable. Like, our expected goals last night were over 2, so there we expected more goals.
I think it ended up at 1.67. But yeah, like you said, 16 shots, 12 of those were inside the box. RSL with 9 total shots. We won the possession, but it wasn't like the first game. It was 56-44. So yeah, man, just taking notice. But to play into to shooting, because we had several opportunities. Like I said, 12 in the box, and there were somewhere outside the box we didn't take the shot. We kind of took the extra pass when the crowd was like expecting a shot, and then they're just going ooh when the shot doesn't even come, and it ends up being a pass. So a little play in right here from the conference, the press conference after the game with Ben Olsen. And Ben Olsen was asked, and we'll preface to the video here and let y'all hear it from his own words. Was Ben was asked, why doesn't the team shoot? In so many words. And as you listen to the video, you'll actually hear the actual question being asked too. So it's not just Ben talking. It's the credit to the person that asked the question, and then Ben answering the question.
Attack it. The finals, the players fail to strike the ball at the final time. I want to pass it. Is that part of the team strategy to like pass it instead of shoot it?
This is a good question. Yeah, I'd like them to shoot too. Well, we took 16 shots and 12 were inside the box, so we were still shooting. I know what you're talking. At the top of the box, a couple of times we're looking for the extra pass, and again, sometimes the extra pass works, and sometimes it allows an easier shot with a higher percentage. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need to smack the ball and open them up, so maybe the pass is a little easier. So these guys get it, but it was just a little off in the final third, that last pass. So,
and his answer was funny right there. His answer was friggin' funny. After now that you've listened to the friggin' video, it's just kind of laughed, and But hilarious. I laugh too whenever you just see Ben's emotion, just like, that's a good
Yep.
question. That's a good question. Like, but yeah, and it's definitely not in the plans for them not to shoot. He wants them to shoot, as you heard. So it's something they're going to work on for the next 2 weeks as they practice. He did confirm they're going to have a couple days off, so they probably won't be at practice back until Tuesday. So the guys can do whatever they wish on Sunday and Monday, as long as they're not bike riding or out sea doing or anything like that.
Just found them at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah. They can go bowling, and that's about it.
Right.
That's about it. So, uh, you know, but man, what a friggin' game! And then we're trying there at the end before the last whistle, to get that last goal, and it just couldn't happen. And then the final whistle blow. But before we go into the penalty kicks, man, so here we are, where Ben's not perfect. And this question was not asked in the press conference. It probably should have. But what is Ben's thinking? I'm asking you now, Foxtrot. What is Ben's thinking to making 0 subs? Only one of those subs being in the 80th minute mark with Thor coming in and replacing Baird for the last 10 minutes. No other subs. When we do have players on the bench we can trust and we can insert in there, and we could try to find something out and try to get that extra energy and that extra leg to get us a goal, and he just refused to make subs. Again, he didn't use his subs in the last game. Not all of his subs. He didn't use all of his subs and only made one this time. Only made one. Crazy, bro. I mean, thoughts on that?
I feel like it's just a matter of trust with his players,
Obviously
or
it does.
just like a point he has to drive in to them, and not necessarily something I agree with him most of the time, because we've had those games that we needed subs. A good example will be in game 2, when I honestly believe Coco had to be subbed out at that point, and he's still stuck to the game through the penalty shootout, and with that, obviously we're not experienced MLS coaches, so there's definitely more than what we see on service level. But at the same time, like us as fans that we see pretty much every game, we can probably tell if there's something wrong or not. And I can definitely understand that the concern of the lack of substitutions, and just Thor being the only option coming off the bench in the last 2 minutes. And yeah, because I felt like if like other players like came in, like I don't know if Ibrahim Aliju would have done much else different, or a Caicedo coming in. I wouldn't say that Caicedo may be needed here, but probably at the game 2 against RSL, I felt like it could have changed the game a little bit, but at the same time, it's just a matter of trust with the players. So it's definitely like a weird scenario, especially what the coach wants to apply with this team, since it's pretty much his team. So,
And
but yeah, I agree with the concern, honestly.
well, and I get what you say. You trust the players, but that also can imply you're not trusting your bench. But trusting the players, you're liking the way the team is playing, and you don't want to make a sub and change, and it could change the way the entire team's playing. Even one sub can do that. So it's one of those questions at all. The first name that always comes up to me off our bench, our best bench player, is probably Caicedo. But like you mentioned, there's no need for him to come in at this point. Coco wasn't struggling like he was in game 2, so he doesn't need to come off. He's a penalty kick taker as well. So you leave Coco on. You don't take Caicedo. You don't put Caicedo on. Aliyu's probably one I felt that could have came on earlier for Baird, maybe in the 60th minute, because he's one that can stretch the field and make some difference, and he could have taken on some forwards. Aliyu did get a hat trick in a Open Cup at one point, so we know he can score. We know he can score in tournament style play. He just has trouble scoring in season play. So it was an opportunity. And then if you don't want to leave taking the penalty, at the last second, you could sub him back out for Thor being the penalty kick taker, because you know how much extra time there's going to be and the ball is going to go out of bounds somehow. So you could have made that same sub for sub like you did last time. But to give Thor credit, I did watch him for the last 10 minutes, and he did go out there and hustle, and he did put the effort in. I saw him defending as well. He just didn't get an opportunity on the offensive end to score. The ball just didn't fall to him. He made a couple good passes, but it just didn't fall to him to where he was able to take the shot off and take a rip and just be that man right there. And while we're talking about Thor, spoke to him after the game too, and he did admit that it's been a struggle this season not getting minutes, but right now he's happy. He saw the penalty kick in game 2. He got 12 minutes in this game and got to take another penalty kick. So he is struggling in his mind, but he's giving it all for his team, and he's not saying nothing negative. So proud of him for that, at least.
Oh yeah, and he gets to contribute in his own way at this point, and he almost got a goal last night. But yeah, I'm glad he's still able to contribute, like this far into the season. And shout out to his cornrows, man. I like his cornrows.
Well, that's funny, because if you go and look at my video I took in the locker room, he washed them out. He took them out, so they were gone. They were gone right after the game. So this was a one-time deal right there. I guess it was game day hair.
Yeah.
which was funny, because like I had to do a double take. You recognize Thor, but I had to do a double take when he came back out. I was like, hold on, bro, that's not how your hair was. Like, but he literally just got out of the shower and got dressed, and then he came out into the locker room and he was able to talk to us. So that good for Thor. But like I said, he had nothing negative to say. He just he did his thing, and he's going to go out there and continue to do his thing. So if he can play like he did last night, where he puts the effort and the opportunity in and shows that he can be a part of Ben's system, then there is a place for him here. And you know what kind of exciting player he can be when he finishes and the type of finishes he can do. So it'd be interesting to see if he can continue and where we take it during the offseason.
Well, yeah, and I think with that we're going to the penalty shootout, and thankfully this one was way better than the one from game 2.
Bro, crazy.
Steve Clark, what can we say?
Finally makes a friggin' save. Finally makes a save. And it's man, all right. So 1-1, I think it was 2-2, and then RSL, of course, takes it first. Third shot comes up, and not only did Steve guess. Well, hold on. Let's go back to the first penalty kick. The first penalty kick, Chicho Arango or whatever, I think, takes the first one.
Yeah,
and he does that stutter, hesitation, or whatever. And I guess he hesitated so much he froze Steve, because Steve didn't even move when he took the friggin' penalty kick. Like, bro, like, move. Like, guess a side. Unless he was guessing down the middle, then whatever. Steve, you did that, but he didn't move. But then that's the third penalty kick, and it's the little short Oompa Loompa who comes up to take it, bro. Like, I'm so happy that dude kicked it. Not straight at Steve Clark. Steve Clark guessed the right side. He didn't put it far enough in the corner. I think he had the corner covered, but he didn't put it high in the corner. And Steve makes a save, and Steve's just emotion just immediately came out. There was no controlling it. He went Super Saiyan right there. That's how much it meant to Steve right there. It's probably his first time making a save in 30 years too.
No, yeah, like it was his moment to do something, because if he managed to make a stop or just force a player to miss, then it was going to be big and turn the game around. Because I felt like at that point, by the time the penalty shootout started, RSL had the momentum, because that's the position where they wanted to be. As you could clearly tell, like in the second half, they just wanted to end the game. And yeah, like it was this moment to shine. I was expecting him to save a penalty at some point, and he finally denies Diego Luna.
I wasn't expecting him to save a penalty. I was hoping to hell he would save a penalty.
Yeah,
and woo, thank God he did. And then from the angle where I was at, taking the pictures. The fifth penalty kick, I thought he saved it and hit it off the post, but obviously I've seen the video afterwards, and the dude just straight up hit the post, and then it hit Steve and it bounced back out, and it looked like even if Steve wasn't laying there on the ground, the ball wouldn't have gone back into the goal. It hit the post and it was going back towards the field. So RSL, that dude just missed his penalty kick on his own, and woo! And then it was just time for Dorsey ball, bro, being the fifth kicker. Now this was also found out too that Ben told him he was going to be the fifth kicker. And Dorsey was kind of surprised and excited, and he's like, "Yeah, no problem." But he didn't realize he was going to be the fifth kicker over Ache. And fans still don't understand why Ache's not taking penalty kicks. The dude's never been a penalty kicker, and he's not the guy to take the penalty kicks. He's the guy that sets up penalty kicks. He gives you the pass, you get fouled, and then Bossy takes the penalty kick. So speaking of Bossy, made his penalty kick. His penalty kick. So, and he was still given the opportunity to take it. I think he was the third. Yeah, he was third. Yeah, because Quinones missed his fourth penalty kick. So it's just probably the emotion, dude. The emotion going through that. When Quinones missed and gave RSL back, put RSL back into it, I was like, oh, God. How can you, bro? Like, come on. But, go ahead.
Yeah. Just going back to RSL's second miss, it was pretty important for Steve to know his positioning, because it's one of those penalty kicks. Like, obviously, if it bounces off the post, it can go. It's 50-50, because if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, the ball's gonna go in the net. And thankfully, he kept his he had his eye on the ball. Like, he was pretty much sitting in the middle still, and he was able to bounce the ball away, because his body was facing the ball, like when he hit the post inside the goal. And I'm just thankful that he was just not in a bad position to get the goal in for RSL, because that was gonna cost the Dynamo big time.
No telling how many penalty kicks we would have had to take after that if they would have made that one, and Dorsey, he finished, and we go to round 6, and no telling who takes it next. Probably Ache is number 6, so it's just nuts, bro. It's just nuts to see. And I guess while we're talking about penalty kicks, we might as well mention it. All penalty kicks have been determined by the MLS to be done in front of the supporter section of the home stadium until now, because this is just a rumor, has not been confirmed by MLS, but supposedly, somebody heard it from an MLS rep last night that we screwed the pooch on this one, because the idiots that want to throw the water bottles on the field, if we decide to go into penalty kicks against SKC, it will be done in front of Webb and not in front of the supporters section. Which one? There's a lot less people down there, and shit, I don't know. But stupid to you if you're listening and you're the one that was throwing a water bottle or throwing your empty beer can. Granted, the guy that threw the empty beer can got caught. They saw him throw it, and they went and picked him out of the crowd and escorted his butt out. I don't know if anybody else got caught. It didn't look like it. MLS was there at the game, and they were literally 2 feet away from me, so kind of standing over me. And every time RSL came up and took a kick, they brought their phones out and they were recording the stands, so where they could pinpoint where the throw was coming from. So they might have caught somebody else, but yeah, that was stupid. So now they've said it won't be in front of the supporter section next time, which sucks, because I stand in the supporter section, which means let's handle business so we don't go to penalty kicks, because I don't want to watch penalty kicks from the other side of the stadium next time. But let's just beat SKC, period. Anyways, please. But
just stop with penalties altogether. But just going back to what you said, don't throw stuff on the field, like just streamers after we win games, But it's just unnecessary. It puts a team in a bad situation, in a bad light, and it now causes this, like, penalty potential. We're not going to see penalty shootouts being done in front of the fans. like from this point on in the playoffs, and like it's just what happens. Like the repercussions of this putting player safety at risk because for some reason you just feel like that person felt like doing that, which is insane. And people don't throw stuff on the field. Just streamers after games, honestly.
And what purpose did it mean? Did it send? You're not getting into their heads to take a penalty kick. Matter of fact, you're probably making them more motivated to finish the penalty kick so they can celebrate in front of your dumb ass. So it's just stupid to do. Period. Don't do it. So I hope you're one of our listeners. I hope you still listen after this fact. But stop throwing shit on the field. Oh, you're stupid. Stop it. Streamers. The ushers were handing out the streamers at the end of the game. So the Dynamo provided those streamers that everybody got to throw onto the field and throw everywhere, left and right. You had to buy the beer. You had to buy the water. So don't throw that. Don't only giveaways. Only throw giveaways onto the field. I don't want to say that because last year I think we threw those little light things on the field when
Yep.
Panea was doing his little thing, which was stupid as well, but because those could hurt somebody, the little projectiles. But man, yeah, ridiculous. But granted, thankfully, we made it through penalties. We won. We finished, and as one of the homies in the Surge Discord, Lava, he posted the video of Baird doing the bunny hop. So we hop into the next round, and I tried to reply with the video of Bossy and Teenage and Eric over there doing hey, 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 hey. So put those two videos together. Let's go into the next round. We got international duty this coming week, and then we got SKC at home. Times to be announced, which will probably, as we're recording on Sunday, they'll probably wait until after the Atlanta Columbus game tonight before they decide who's playing when on what day for the following round. It will be on Saturday or Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend. So alert your family and tell them you're sorry now. There's a possibility you might miss some family time, and it's okay because your family will still be there when you come back from the game. Dynamo Conference Semifinals. Woo, it's been 10 years, bro. Yeah. How many Thanksgiving dinners have you had? Oh, you're right. 2017.
Honestly, I don't blame you. Like, it's easy to forget since 2017 was just like absolute insanity. Like, no one expected us to reach the conference final, and but it's still been a long time, like since 2017. But
Was the
yeah,
conference
it's just one of the
semifinal in
opportunities.
2017 a home game?
It was home and away. I think it was
Oh
against the
yeah, that's
Timbers,
right.
if I remember correctly. Yeah,
That's right. And then we played Seattle in the conference final.
yeah.
Yeah. And then friggin' I don't even know who Seattle played in the finals. Who cares? It didn't matter anyways.
Right.
But let's preference another video of Ben Olsen in the press conference after the game, and I'm gonna word for word the question, but you'll also hear it in the video. But the question was asked: His team has been really good with their backs up against the wall, and why do you think this is? And then Ben goes in to answer the question. So let's take you to that video real quick.
Week, this team has been really good with their backs up against the wall. Why do you think that is? Why are you guys capable of doing this over and over again?
We revamped the team, but we revamped it with winners and guys that have been around in these types of games, been in championships, have won championships. I've talked about it all year. Even the guys that are overseas, they're coming from teams that they win. And that's the culture they come from. So I think that really helps. And even guys coming off the bench have been in these moments. So that and the way this team has gelled together organically, not necessarily by my doing, but it's a group that somehow really enjoys playing for each other and looks after each other, and some guys stepping up and playing at a good level. Tonight was about everybody had to play in the way they were capable of, and everybody showed up for us.
And then, dude, like we said earlier, winners. friggin' winners. Pat said one of his things to build in this team and trust the process is he wanted to bring winners in. Yo, you mentioned it. We won the Open Cup. We did pretty well in Leagues Cup, but faltered a little early in the round of 16. But now here we are going into the conference semifinals, 4th seed in the Western standings. Like, this has been incredible run. And I think, Ben said it perfectly, bro. Just Ben said it right. And you have to trust the process. Trust in Pat, trust in Asher, trust in Ben.
Yeah, and that was the beginning of the year. Trusting the process despite the slow start of the season, and this is where we're at right now.
Yeah. Having fun, bro. Having fun with this season. Incredible, bro. Incredible. Austin didn't make the playoffs. Dallas has been eliminated. At least one team in Texas. So what color is this state?
Orange.
Orange.
Yeah.
As always, and will forever be orange.
Honestly, yeah.
Is that what you were posting to?
Well, that and also a couple more things before we close it out. I mean, just shout out to Juan Carlos Zamoros for winning the NWSL championship with Gotham.
Yeah.
Obviously, we like to joke about him leaving the Dash at a pretty critical time, but still, I'm glad that Houston pretty much honored his wish of being in another project, and Gotham just being in a pretty bad position by the time he joined, and turning things around for them. And just shout out to him. Congrats for the win in the NWSL championship. And I don't know, yeah, it's for me it's just kind of weird because we let him go, quote unquote, but and to what the Dash could be right now versus to like how we started and how it is right now, and how we're on square on our first square to like progress back into getting back into winning ways. So it's kind of sad, but at the same time, credit to him.
Yeah, and let's clarify real quick. The Dash didn't let him go. The Dash had no choice in the matter. He didn't want to stay here. He wanted to go to New York. So I guess his agent, he kind of knew that job was going to be available or whatever. He wanted to go to New York. It's a short flight to Spain than what it is from flying to Houston to New York and then to Spain. So because he came out and said that is one of the reasons why he wants to be closer to his family, and it just made more sense. And it is a project as well because Dash was still a project, so he very easily could have stayed here. But when you've got family to think about, that makes more sense. And so, but yeah, credit to him, and wow, what a job he did. Because I don't remember if they were 11th or 12th last year at the end of the season. Now here they are first. So from worst to first, which is just an incredible run to make. And yeah, like you said, shout out to him. I have no remorse towards him. It's all good. I just hope now that we can go and find our next superstar coach.
Yep, and we need it now, and the Dash better get to work on that. But
yeah,
and we can probably just talk about a little bit more later, right around preseason for the Dash or whenever we get those news. But
whenever
it
happens, because it'll happen soon. It'll have to happen pretty soon. Yeah, and then don't you have another former Dash update you got for us?
Ebony Salmon.
Ebony Salmon, what a friggin' brace today.
Yeah. Man, it just feels weird seeing all these all these former personnel succeed while we're in off-season mode. Like just wondering what could have been, but yeah, it is what it is.
Well, and great for her. Her team her and Daly are not having the season they had last year. Jesus Christ. Daly, I think, is still missing the scoreboard this season after scoring like 20-something last year. So Sammy gets a brace today and gets them their first points of the season. So good for them, and I'm glad she got two. And it looks like from some of her posts, she's been happy. She's just been happy with what's with the change in the environment. And of course, she is English, so you can't blame her. She wants to be home. She is home. England's not that big of a country, so you could probably the size of Texas. So You can get around pretty quick and get everywhere, and there's 1,000 soccer teams in each city anyways.
Yeah, and traveling by train instead of driving yourself there in a
Yeah,
size of, in a country that like you said, probably the size of Texas or less, and yeah, it's definitely good to be home, a place that you've known, and yeah, that pretty much just goes back to, it's kind of the same situation as Juan Carlos Zamoros. This time around, it's more like a business thing since she wanted to go back home. The Dash wanted to get some money back, and that happened. So yeah, just shout out to her, and I hope she succeeds still in the Super League over there.
she probably has the hardest time doing her hair nowadays, though, because it never stops raining in England. So, so that's probably the only regret she has from leaving Texas. But I'm sure she's not going to complain too much. You know, it's cold in England, so you're probably used to it. It's always friggin' raining, which makes it worse. So whatever. She's happy though. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, guys, it's gonna definitely do it for this one. We'll be back probably next week, depending how things go. But since we're gonna be out for 2 weeks, we'll figure something out. If
We're gonna be here next week. I'm working on that in the background. So we're gonna this one, like you said, because of international break. I'm trying to get a SKC on to join us and do a collab, and we'll make that just a regular episode next week. So I'm in the process of talking to somebody about that and see if we can get them on. So we can try to give you some. I know a lot of us know SKC and their rivals, so you probably don't care. You don't want to hear about it, but it's always good to know the other team and get to talk to the other team before we play them. So that's something we're working on. So hopefully we can do that episode during this international break off week, and maybe give you a Coco update since he will be playing for Panama in the Nations League, and we'll see. And maybe hopefully by then, can also tell you what it's like attending a USA match, since there's going to be one on Thursday in Austin, and I'm going to get my butt to it and enjoy some USA soccer quarterfinals against Trinidad and Tobago. So let's go.
Yeah, very nice. But yeah, thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in, supporting our content, and sharing it. And, stay loyal.
Pages up.